lot of folks have been asking me about the debt crisis in Washington, D.C. and what the impact will be on our country and Louisiana if the federal government defaults on its debt. The truth is nobody knows. We're in uncharted waters here. But whether or not the federal government defaults on its debt, I can tell you one thing: Louisiana bonds are safe. It's because of a very unique provision we have in our Constitution. It's called the Bond Security and Redemption Fund. That's a special fund in my office in the State Treasury into which all state tax revenues flow first. And what that means is that bondholders, people who buy our debt, have first dibs on all state revenue to pay the principal and interest on those bonds before any other expenses of government are paid, which makes our bonds at the state level, our state bonds, virtually default proof. If the federal government had a similar provision, we probably wouldn't be having this discussion in Washington, D.C. So I want to assure everybody in Louisiana and out of state, if you're holding Louisiana bonds, the federal government may have problems with its debt, but we do not have problems in Louisiana. Our bonds are safe because of the Bond Security and Redemption Fund.
And what does this fund mean for citizens of Louisiana?
Well, it means that, number one, we're serious about our fiscal management in Louisiana. It means that when we borrow money, we're serious about our commitment, both moral and legal, to pay that money back. And that's not just talk. You know, we've not only talked the talk, we're walking the walk. We set up this special fund that the voters approved, the people of Louisiana approved in our Constitution. It's called the Bond Security and Redemption Fund. And all state revenue flows there first for payment of principal and interest on our debt before any other expenses of state government are paid. So in effect, because of the Bond Security and Redemption Fund, bondholders, people who have our debt, own our debt, get first dibs on all states' revenue, all state revenue, so they can be assured they'll be repaid.
And where does this put Louisiana in relation to other states?
We're unique. No other state, to my knowledge, has this kind of provision. Certainly the federal government doesn't have this kind of provision. The other reason that people can feel safe is because our budgets are balanced in Louisiana. Sometimes I don't agree with how they balance the budget, but it's balanced. And we don't spend more than we take in. And the problem in Washington, D.C. is that this next month in August, we'll take in $170 billion. The problem is the federal government will spend $300 billion. That's like a person making $55,000 a year spending $97,000 a year. You can do that for a while, I guess. You know, you can charge on the credit card or borrow money from relatives, or maybe you can find a bank to give you some money for a while, but sooner or later you're going to go broke, and that's what Washington, D.C. is coming to terms with right now.